Hey, Shalom, Israel. First off, I would like to say, Call Halal Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah Bahashim Rakakwadash. I would like to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught me. Also, would like to say peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect, the Akim that's pushing his word in all sincerity and faith throughout the four corners of the earth. For the few sisters that watch and believe, Shalom to you as well. I just want to do just a quick mindset type of lesson just on the value of experience. And I guess it's kind of like a cliche saying that experience is like the father, I'll say, of all learning. But it truly is, because once you actually go through a certain course or process, you reach the deepest levels of understanding of that particular issue in life. It's easy to talk about a relationship and how you would deal with a woman and this, that, and the third, but until you are actually put in a position to have to deal in a relationship with the woman, I'm only using a woman for an example, you don't have the experience to really give counsel to a man who may be having an issue when it comes to issues dealing with women. And that could be for anything, starting enterprise, managing your finances, just all different things in life. Experience, going through the actual course of the experience, it actually just opens your windows and your levels of understanding. And how much more so with this truth, because everybody, all the different brothers, who have been in the truth for X amount of years, of course, our apostles, some have been in the truth over 30 years, over 20 years, the elders, the up and coming elders today have been in the truth over 10 years. So however many years you've been in the truth, it's just certain life experiences that have put you in a position to offend less, to basically make prudent decisions to where you may have not made those same decisions years ago. But just going through that course of experience, it actually teaches you to apply certain things to your life. But before I ramble on, I'm going to just hit a few scriptures. Hopefully this will edify, because you can never marginalize the value of experience. That's why even in Esau's kingdom, you got a lot of these people that go after these college degrees, which that's a good thing if you're in certain professions, like if you're striving to be in the medical field, if you're striving to be in the legal field, being a lawyer or an engineer, something to that effect, then you have to go through the protocol of Esau's school system. But with any job, they have what's called on-the-job training. So it really doesn't matter how many degrees you have. It's really the best candidate for the position is going to be the person who has the most experience, meaning they've actually been through the rigors and the toils of actually being functional in that particular task. And it's the same here in the faith, man. Brothers that have their hand to the plow, faithfully performing the works of the Lord, we're growing in experience, and that's a part of us going from glory to glory. But I'm gonna get this. It says, this is Romans 5:3. It says, and not so only. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start up. It says by verse 2. It says, by whom also we have access by faith into this grace wherein we stand and rejoice in the hope of the glory of the Most High. So in Yahweh Shah, we have access through faith and in grace through that blood sacrifice that Yahweh Shah had to endure. We have the glory of the Most High to be joint heirs with Yahweh Shah, to take part in that glory. It says, and not only so, but we glory in tribulations also, knowing that tribulation worketh patience. So we're the elect men of Israel. We're likened unto fine gold tried in the furnace of affliction. So when you're in this truth, you're going to go through all types of adversity. You're going to go through all different types of tribulation. But the scripture says that tribulation worketh patience. And everyone says as a cliche, but it's true, that patience is a virtue. Just having the ability just to hold fast and just really just wait on the Lord, not really bug out or be moved one way or the other on certain situations, man. That takes an extreme spirit. It says, and patience, experience, and experience hope. So all of these things go hand in hand through the adversities and tribulations that we go through in our walk of faith. That builds patience to where we're able to rule our spirit and know how to take the low, to how to suffer as a Christian. And it says, and patience, experience. And experience is the very thing that we need to just go from one obstacle course to the other. And also in the same process, build other men up who are younger in the faith that may be going through the same things, so they don't have to go through the same pitfalls that you may have experienced. It says, and experience hope. And we hope to receive the kingdom. We hope to receive salvation. So through all of these tribulations, which work at the patience, through our experience in the course of the faith, man, that perpetuates our hope and our faith that the Lord is coming. And he's drawing nearer than when we first believed, like it talks about in Romans, the 13th chapter. But in this lesson, I just want to just kind of illustrate how experience, it teaches us many things. Because you could train to be, a top level boxer, but until you actually get some fights under your belt, you don't have an experience of what it's like to be in the ring. Know what it's like to feel a punch, to feel a counter punch. Know what it's like to be exhausted and have to dig deep and basically exercise your breathing correctly. Just all of these different intricacies, within the sport of boxing. I use an example just as a fan, but experience teaches us many things. That's the point being made. You don't really get the expertise of something until you experience. And really that word expertise, it goes back to experience, because you're not going to be an expert at something until you actually go through the experience of having to actually function and deal with something. And we're willing and dealing in the faith, man. Everything's at a high level right now. And the level of understanding among men who are coming in at the last stages is going to have to be much quicker. But just because we're getting that much more closer to the time, and the men that are coming in later, they have the luxury to be able to look upon other men's experiences. Because I've heard a saying, as many of you brothers have heard, that a smart person learns from their own mistakes, but a wise person learns from the mistakes of others. And before I get this in Sirach, I'll read this real quick. This is Romans 15:4. It says, for whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. So all of the things written aforetime by the holy prophets, the Israelites that the Most High set up to preach and set up in a lot to push this word and to preach of the Messiah that would return in the latter days, the certain pitfalls and adversities that they went through, we can read those things and learn from those things to build up our faith, to know which way to walk in or which way to not walk in. And just through that learning process, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, we have hope. So there's plenty of experiences from our forefathers that we can look to that makes us wise unto salvation if we take heed in our own life, of course. So experience is important. That's the point being made, man. Even when, you have the ability, you have the privilege to hear one of the apostles and elders speak on certain things, maybe in their younger days coming up in the faith, certain things that they had to endure. You really need to open your mind and your ears and listen. And if it's something that's applicable to what you're dealing with, you need to have the foresight to apply it. That's being found wise, man. But we're going through our own experiences as well in this course of faith, because we all are called to work out our own salvation with fear and trembling until the Lord comes back, man. So we're going through our own course and experiences for ourselves. So a lot of times we do have to learn from our own experiences, man. That's one of my favorite scriptures where it talks about offending less. We understand that offense is going to come, but just through your course and your trial and your experience in this faith, you know what things can rub certain people the wrong way. You get a higher level of understanding on what you need to do. That's the point being made. But I'm going to read this here in Sirach or Ecclesiasticus chapter 34, verse 9. It says, a man that hath traveled knoweth many things, and he that hath much experience will declare wisdom. So a person that travels knoweth many things. And even on a carnal level, just someone that's jet setting, they're going from this country to that country. They're just looking at all of the different scenery that the earth has to offer. You know, just going through the process of being around different nations of people, you know, just experiencing different things. You're going to know a lot of different things. And just how to deal with the process of human interaction, if that makes sense. And that's just on a carnal level. But being in this faith, being in this truth, we're also going through our course in the faith. So we're traveling through Babylon. We're pilgrims passing through. So this is a journey. This is a voyage. We're traveling through Babylon right now, man. So through this process of our travels in Great Babylon as pilgrims passing through, we're getting a greater understanding of many things through that process of experience. And it says, and we'll declare wisdom. So that makes us wise. But we have to apply wisdom, because that's what ultimately makes you wise. We actually apply the wisdom. Proverbs 4:7. Matter of fact, I'm going to get that real quick. I don't want to misquote it. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 7. It says, wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. So wisdom is the principal thing, which that's just information itself. So you're supposed to get all the information. It says, therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. But to get understanding, you actually have to go through that experience of wisdom, meaning applying it to your life. The things that you're learning about, you should be applying it to your life, going through that experience to make you wise unto salvation. I'm going to read this again. This is Sirach or Ecclesiasticus 34:9. It says, a man that hath traveled knoweth many things, and he that hath much experience will declare wisdom. So we're supposed to be in a spirit to declare wisdom amongst these different nations, man. Especially if you're a brother that's been in this truth for at least, I would say, 3 or more years. You know, and it's different levels and measurements, of course, to wisdom. But you should be on a certain level, man. You shouldn't definitely be just falling into some of the same pitfalls that you had earlier in the faith, man. Because this is a growing business. Stagnant water breeds death and disease, man. We're supposed to be living waters. But through that process of experience, that takes us from glory to glory and helps us grow in the faith. Verse 10, it says, he that hath no experience knoweth little. So if you don't go through any experiences, you're not going to know anything. You're not going to be an expert on any level. You're going to be a novice. A person can talk about he wants to be in great shape, and he wants to be in great physical shape and have a great physique and a great body and all of these different things. But you have to go through that experience of working out, man. Or you're not going to know anything about what it really takes to get the body that you seek. And that's just still on a carnal level. How much more so in the truth, man? If you don't go through certain experiences, meaning getting active, being involved, participating, man, not just sitting idly, just going through this experience, enjoying this course of the faith, man. Because that's what ultimately builds you up. It says, he that hath no experience knoweth little, but he that travail, or Salakia, but he that hath traveled is full of prudence. So you can apply it on a carnal sense. Of course, anybody that's traveling, they're going to be full of prudence. They're going to know how to go through the airport real quickly, you know, to where they're not wasting any time. They're going to know how to pack their bag a certain type of way if they're accustomed to traveling all the time. But on a spiritual sense, a man that's traveling through the course of faith, he's going to be full of prudence. He's not going to be subject to making some of the same mistakes and offenses that he made earlier in his walk of faith. And we all got to strive to be on that level to the best of our ability. It says, when I traveled, I saw many things, and I understand more than I can express. So on a carnal level, Someone that travels, they sees many things, they understand more than they can express. How much more on a spiritual level, getting into these scriptures, actually applying these things to your life and going through a course of experience with the knowledge that you've been given. The Lord's gonna sup with you if you one of the chosen elect. You're gonna understand more. You're gonna see many different things and visions and be able to expound on those things. You know. So in this lesson, I just want to just point out experience teaches us many things, and a person that's found wise, they learn from the mistakes of others rather than their own mistakes. But we want to do both because we're all subject to both, just based on the flesh that we live in. We're gonna go off, we're gonna make mistakes to where we have to learn from our own mistakes, but at the same time, we're among a body of brothers that have different experiences. We can learn from the experiences of other brothers. So that means you got to keep your foot when a brother's maybe pouring out his heart about a certain experience that you haven't gone through, that he's been through, man. At least just hear the brother out. Even if you don't agree with his perspective and the way that he dealt with it, just hear it out. So with all being said, hopefully this made sense and edified. Just enjoy getting lost in this process of going through our course of faith and experience, until Yahweh Shah comes back. So with all being said, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, peace and blessings to the elect.